All right, what is up, traders? My name is Heath. This is Trade Talk. So we're going to start off with the king of all assets, the Bitcoin. All right, because we had a nice move up out of this area, and we have so far tested an area of support. We're going to go ahead and call that area of support this bearish candle right here on the 4-hour time frame. The Bitcoin didn't make any 8-hour market structures in this area, so I dropped down to another level. What is up, Tom? What's up, Vasco, Zoli, Bradley, Jay Bradley, Stefano, everybody? Thank you guys for showing up. Just let me know if you can hear my see my screen, hear my voice, all that good stuff. All right, so I'm gonna keep moving on. All right, so here we go. All right, so I got this first 4-hour market structure right here, and sorry, I was reading the comments, guys. All right, here we go. So basically the first market structure that we have to look at support is going to be this 4-hour market structure on at 43,814 spot 74. Once again, that's 43,814 spot 74. As you can see, if I go to an 8-hour time frame, there is nothing here other than just the opening price of this bullish candle. Now you can use that, but on smaller time frames, you're going to find bearish candles in an uptrending market, and at those bearish candles opening prices, you will find that price tends to respect those areas as support if it's in a bullish market, excuse me, or as resistance in a bearish market, and those candles would be the bullish candles. So this first 4-hour market structure, swing high right here, has found support. This isn't the bounce that I would have liked to seen because we only basically traded to the midpoint of this bearish candle, or not even quite the midpoint. So sellers are involved. All right, so it's going to take a minute for this to basically suss itself out. I do like the fact that it has found support here. And then right below at 41,986 spot 37 is the old all-time high that I just took from this wick up here. All right, so that's the two levels that I'm absolutely watching right now in Bitcoin. Yes, this is bullish. Yes, this is a buying opportunity. The title said, is this the high? No, it is a high, but it is not the high. So it has put in a high. Obviously, anybody can see that. Is this selling pressure? Absolutely not. You have barely retraced this. I mean, if you threw a fib on it, it would probably be around the 32 or the 23, something like that. It's not a massive pullback. This is simply smart traders aren't going to buy up here, guys. You know what I'm saying? So you have to wait for pullbacks. If you're looking to buy this, wait for pullbacks. Now, I do have it pulled up over here on Nzd Usd. Now, this is going to get a little crazy, and just please forgive me. Just let me show you what I got going on. First, I took a trend line from this area down here, tacked it to that low. That's this longer-term trend line. And then I started a new one right here at that low and went to this low. So that's that trend line. And then obviously this one from this low to on an 8-hour time frame. Let me stretch it out. I just basically tacked it from that candle and that candle. So that's going to be your parabolic slash whatever you want to call it trend line. Now, as you can see over here on my little lines, I have delineated so you could see. Yes, that's right. These are 1-minute market structures. So basically, all I'm trying to do is show you that this asset is absolutely phenomenally bullish and we love it. But if you're looking for areas of support, all right, just in case this area falls down, those levels are going to be 43,227 spot 50, which is an hourly market structure. All right, this level right here, I took from the 5-minute time frame, just simply caressing the bottom of price when it shot up right here. So you can see it caught these lows. That's all that purple line is. And then I have a 1-minute and a 1-minute. If Bitcoin's going to pull back, it's going to pull back into one of those areas. And if bulls are going to be more aggressive, then it will find support at one of those areas. All right. That's an absolute, like I said, this is the way it works. If you break through all of those levels, then you're going to test lower prices. I don't see any of these levels coming into play. This is a great test. All right. As far as I'm going to look for this is 42672.50, 42672.50, which is this purple line right here. I do believe that's going to be an area that Bitcoin will find a bottom at. If the buyers are going to be more aggressive, and just because the price action isn't extremely bullish, like from the pullback, it's only been a couple days. This happened on Monday. So you got to be more patient if you want to become a professional trader. You got to let the patience enter your body. All right. It's simple as that. Bitcoin is looking good. This is absolutely beautiful. We want to see pullbacks so that way buyers can get reinitiated in these positions. All right. Next, we're going to move on to the FX market for a second because I am in two trades. First, we're going to go to Nzd Usd because we took a trade on this yesterday morning and I posted it on Twitter and it got stopped out. All right. I can't exactly remember where it was. I'm thinking, let me see. So maybe it was in this area that I got stopped out. I did post it on Twitter and I was looking at that for it to move higher. And as you can see, I got stopped out. So that was the second trade I took. The first trade I took this week was on Euro USD. I will answer any questions. And if you guys have ticker symbols or anything you want me to take a look at, just drop it in the comment section and I'll take a look at it. Basically, this blue line right here indicates my entry on the Euro USD. So let me pull this up for you. You can see the blue and the red line is very close together because I already took profits when my target was hit on this pair, and then I moved my stop to break even. So I have 2/3 of the position is gone, and I'm just leaving the last remainder of the position to do whatever it wants to do. If it wants to keep going higher, I will take that. And then basically right there is what I was looking at. So when we came into this trend line, we broke below it. And this trend line also corresponds with the DXY's trend line. So we had basically a fake out move down here and then a massive bullish push. Once we had that massive bullish push, since this market is structured overall to the bullish side, as you can see, basically I knew that I want to enter this long. So on this 8-hour pullback candle right here, this is my entry, this blue line. My stop is at the same level, and it's been doing nothing but going up ever since. Now we are coming into this swing high up here, which is basically what caught price. Pardon me. As you can, let me change this line. I got to change it back to white or gray, otherwise I'll be all screwed up. All right, so basically we came up into this swing high, and that is what is holding as resistance currently. All right, but as long as this thing is just slightly pulling back, you can go into a smaller time frame and you can find some levels. Basically, hourly bearish candles like this level here might be a good area to watch. You can see that it did get it already got tested once, and I like the levels that don't get tested, but there isn't any at all. So you just have to pick out your candles that you want to take your targets from, or not targets, but your areas where you're going to want to watch to see if price holds those areas as support. I do believe this 1.21018 level is going to be the first level that is tested. And if we break below that and we start heading lower, then this level down here at 1.20781 would be the next area to look for. Remember, I am already positioned in this trade. I already took profits on this trade. It was a 5% win. My stop is at break even. So if we trade all the way back down to here, then I will be looking at this market differently. I will no longer be looking for bullish entries as this trend line was broke. The only reason I left it on there was basically to show you what I was looking at as to why I went bullish on that retest. All right, so you broke above that trend line, you came back down. You actually tested the trend line beautifully. All right, but it was a market structure level I was looking at as well. That's also why I took the trade. So that's where you want to buy. So for you new traders out there that are concerned or confused and you don't know what to do, when this candle was pushing down into this trend line, this candle was red and it was a full-bodied red candle. So that would have looked like selling pressure. But as you can see with the closure, you closed back above this bearish candle's close. All right. So if I drop a line on there for you and pull it out, you can see we pushed down. Everybody was afraid. The world is ending. It is doom and gloom. Heath got long. Boom. That's the way it works. You buy red candles. And if you're taking profits, you want to take profits on green candles, not down here. You take profits up here. All right. And this is why you get this movement up here, because everybody else that got long in the same spot I got long, they're taking profits up here as well. So price will move around in a range until it finds another area where buyers are being more aggressive than the sellers, and then price will take off. If the sellers remain more aggressive, then obviously price heads lower. So that's that trade. And on pound yen, this is the trade right here. I will pull that one up right now, show you the entry right here. This is a 2-hour time frame. Pound yen, we're pushing down, looking like bears are in control. We have 2 legs down. You have an impulse leg down, corrective move up, impulse leg down. 2 legs. Boom. I got long. All right. The price was 144,173. Stop loss was right at 144,083. I did not have my stop loss at the bottom of this bullish candle. I had my stop loss at the bottom of a 5-minute candle, because that 5-minute candle was the reason I took the trade. And if price went lower than that 5-minute candle, I wanted out of the trade. So as you can see with that stop, all right, that stop has not been moved. The risk to reward on this trade is over a 10R gain. All right. This move was a 10R gain this morning. So this week is going great. Up 15 Rs. If you subtract the 1 R I lost on New Zealand USD, I'm up 14 Rs on the week. So everything's moving along pretty nicely. All right. Basically, the reason I did the live stream is because in the C.T.M room, I have all the Forex traders watching this index. This is the Japanese yen currency index. We were looking for this to find support down here in the bottom of this channel. You see that we found it. Now I'm looking for price to be rejected at this turquoise line at 95.50. That's what I said on the Forex Weekly Outlook video, or up here in some area. It looked like it was going to roll over this morning. The fact that it got below that line and then traded back up into the line, in my opinion, was an entry on yen pairs. All right. Now, since you're trading up higher than that level now, you know, this market is closed, but if you pull up any yen pair, you can see that there is yen weakness. Now, I don't know what's going on, and I do want to see this yen gap down tomorrow, or if it gaps up, I want it to find resistance here. If it breaks out, if it gaps way up above this descending trend line channel structure, then I will no longer be looking to take swing trades on Japanese yen pairs. The reason I'm telling you this is more of a swing trade than a scalp is because you got this nice, beautiful impulse leg to the downside. This is your corrective move. All right. This is what I'm looking for, a corrective move. And then impulse to the downside is what I'm looking for. That seems to be the trend currently. So if you gap up above this line here, and I simply took that line from this top and this top. All right. So if you break out above that, then you have breaking out of this channel and you are more bullish than bearish. Then any yen pair longs will not work. All right. Most of the yen pairs look good. This looks great. You had a test down into this area, this last swing high. All right. You have found support, and now you're looking for lower prices. So I am looking for yen pairs to turn around tonight or at the New York Open tomorrow. So I am looking to get long another yen pair. I'm already long pound yen. All right. But the best yen pair as far as risk to reward is going to be this one. This is New Zealand yen. All right. And it does look scary. You have a lot of bearish candles, but I like this pair better. Now, the New Zealand dollar has been weak this week. So it's given us an opportunity, possibly. We do want to see it find support. So at the London Open, I don't want to see a big bearish candle. If I have a big bearish candle on this pair, the New Zealand dollar versus the Japanese yen, then I will assume that the yen play is probably not going to work out. All right. And that's just the way that you got to do it. All right. So we're going to go back over to Bitcoin. Oh, no, not Bitcoin. Sorry. Let's go over here to ETH. Let me get on the right one. Here we are. Eth USD. Eth USD is looking fantastically bullish, just like Bitcoin. This bearish engulfing candle that you see here, this is not a short signal. All right. A lot of people look at bearish engulfings as a short signal, but when a market's extremely bullish, you don't want to be shorting into that. You short weak markets, you buy strong markets. All right. You buy low, sell high. And if you're shorting, you sell high and buy low. So we will have to wait and see what happens with this stuff coming up. It is the middle of the week, so we may have a little bit further of a pullback. Let me get rid of all these lines because, like I said, I change these lines around every single day because I'm getting new data. New data is good data. So there you go. You got a 4-hour market structure. The bottom side of the 4-hour market structure, you can see it is currently holding resistance or as support on ETH USD. That level is 1.69 spot 35, 1698 spot 35. There's probably an hourly candle in here. I mean, it is holding. Let me stretch this out. I don't want to use this candle because it's old. All right. And you've already had price action all the way around it. But as you can see, it's holding. All right. So, yeah, basically, this is the bottom of your market structure. This is your swing low right here. Even on an hourly time frame, it doesn't matter. The market's going to do what the market's going to do. This is your swing low. As long as you're closing hourly candles above 1698, spot 22, this market's in good shape. And this market can come lower and still be in good shape because it's been so bullish for so long. So don't be trying to call a top here. You've had one red day and now you're starting on another one. You got 23 hours left on this candle. Anything can happen in the next 23 hours. Now, ADA is breaking out. I don't know if I have it on this one or the purple one. Right here it is, ADA. All right, so I missed this trade. I was looking at it. I've been watching it. Everything looked good. I had a level here at 0.546548. We never got that retest. I was wanting that retest because it simply would have stopped everybody out here. And that would have been a great area to look for entering long. I never got that. And if I move this up to the opening price of that bearish candle would become your swing high market structure area that you can see held as support, and then boom, it took off. So it didn't really give a fabulous entry signal. I mean, to me, this looked like it was kind of trying to roll over, but you never closed an 8-hour candle below that level. And that's what we look for. You know what I mean? For me not to enter that trade was just, yeah, it's been a busy week, so I wasn't really on my game as much on the ADA pairs or the ADA USD pairs. Plus, I've been playing around with the new Kraken account, looking at all of these things, keeping an eye on all of these things, looking for a fabulous area to possibly get short or buy. Not determined yet what's going to happen, but I got my eyes peeled. Definitely looking for this thing, some stuff to start happening. I can't wait. It's going to be great. I did take 2 trades on this, basically just filling out the platform. And I lost both trades, so not really filling the platform at this point yet. But I will get it. It's just a matter of time, and I will get it. They call me Heath. Thanks, Nick LaFond. Hit us with a Doge chart. All right, my brother. I got you with a Doge chart. Let me see if it's on this one. Nope. Let's go with the purple one. Come on, TradeView. Let's go with the purple one. Doge USD. All right, so Doge USD's been extremely bullish, extremely bullish. I absolutely thought this thing was going to roll over and play dead. Forgive the pun, but it did not. The doggy coin is moving higher. I mean, Gene Simmons has invested 5 figures into this thing, so he's very bullish. No, it looks good, dude. I mean, you got to follow charts, all right? You got to follow price. So this is what I see on this chart. So this was your market structure swing low right here, right? You came down, you closed an 8-hour candle below it. You tested this wick, and then you have since closed up above that level, all right? Look what you're doing right now. You're testing that level as we speak. So was this a bear trap? Could be. I like this price action up out of there. You even came back down on this 8-hour session here, and you pushed well beneath that level, and you traded back up. Now, and you made a higher high. So far you're working on higher or lower highs, but you haven't made a lower low yet. So you can watch this wick low. If this candle comes down and takes out that low, then you will technically have lower highs and lower lows. I want to see this low taken out really, but it looks bullish. This is the line in the sand right here, 7182, 0.07182. It is testing it as support as we speak. The Doge Bitcoin chart, it's looking even better, obviously, because Bitcoin's pulling back a little bit. So you had this swing high right here. You broke out, you came back down, and you tested it, and then you traded away. All right. So this is so far a lower high, but you need to take out this low before you have a lower low. And if you get that, then this candle down here might be an area to look for support test and hold. That price is 123. That's only if you take out this low. If you do not take out this low, this is your area right here, 156. You get an 8-hour closure below that, you're probably heading down to here, maybe. All right. You do have this market structure swing low down here. That's going to come into play first. That's about 150. All right. This looks constructive, and it tested support, and you're still trading away from the support. So take that however you will. All right. This is not financial advice. You do have a trend line. You can just put it on this low right here. So let that help you as to make your trading decisions. If you want to buy this, buy it in or around these areas down here. All right. Either 156 or 150. You don't want to buy it at this low. Yes, that could find support down there. But in my opinion, if we're going down here to test that low, it's where people are going to be taking profits. All right. So then you will have to wait and see if you get a bullish pop out of that area. But for right now, 156 is your level. All right. That's the Mr. Dogester. Hey, yeah, I can't even get over this thing. Let's go look at Aave. Aave's looking nice and tight too. You had a big, strong breakout. You came down, you found support right here. That's your lower area. This was an area I was watching at 452.67. You can see it never was tested. All right. As soon as you came up out of there, you never went back. You never retested that level. So I will be watching for a retest of 452.67. If the bulls are still in control and we keep closing 8-hour candles above 452.67, I will be looking for long entries on this thing. All right. Right now, it's holding above support on this candle right here, but you're testing it currently. So you basically just have to wait and see what's going to happen. Since this level was tested with that wick, you could just basically move it up to your last bearish candle at 490.57. This candle tested that area already, but you didn't take out the high of that candle. So it is looking a little bit weak, but that's how these things work. A test back down into this level could get every bull in this market re-energized, and you could see a massive spike up out of there. I mean, that's the way it works. So as of now, you're only looking for bullish positions. You're not looking for bearish positions on AAVE. I'm going to check out the comments really quick. Just bear with me. No, don't want you to play. All right, give me a second. What's up, Brandon? Stefano, great. Everything's working out. Dude, I had that before you posted in the Discord. Was so proud of myself. I'm slowly learning. Great job, Vern. I love it. That's what it's all about, baby. That is what it is all about. First time live. Love your analysis. Appreciate that, Megan Davis. Philip Berger says smash the like button. Appreciate that. Any thoughts on SPX, NDX? Yes, I do have thoughts on SPX. SPX was pushing down a little bit today, but as you can see clearly, it's being bought back up. So this push down right here, when I did my last or the weekly Forex outlook, I was telling everybody this is a buying opportunity because this market only goes up, and it has been only going up, and it will possibly only keep going up. There's so much liquidity in this market. Everything is bullish. What the Fed's doing, all this liquidity that's being printed and putting into the markets, it's call it what you want to call it, but it's going up. The price action is bullish. There's really, this was the buying opportunity at the beginning of the week. All right, 37.20. Right now, you're just essentially trading higher, and yeah, you got a small pullback. So let's see what happens. So let's go find us some 8-hour market structure level that has not been tested yet. Here is one right here. That's at 38.61.70. So if you're going to continue lower, if this was a push lower, it's an obvious, this is a small time frame, but there was weakness today at the beginning of the market, but that has since been pushed back up. If you trade lower down into 38.61, that is going to be a great area to look for a support test and hold, because you're going to stop out everybody that got long here. All right. The 4-hour level is much lower. And this is the gap chart. Let me go get it, the regular chart. Let's get this one. There's no gaps, so it's easier to find levels. So this one was tested with this push down this morning. It's all good. It's heading lower, and I got that out of the in pairs too, so it's probably just a nice big pullback. So that 2-hour level is the first one that I like right there. That level, that's going to be the first area that I'm looking for. This candle did test it. It did, but it's the first area you got. That's going to be your first main support area. All right, and that's 38.74 spot 94. SPX NDX. I don't trade the NDX. I do know it's the NASDAQ, but I like the Qs when I'm trading options. But it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Let's see what we got on a daily. All right, so essentially you push down into that one right there. Oh, pardon me if that was loud in your ears. I apologize. Right there at 13,561 spot 50. You push down into that area, buyers re-engage to the market. So your next area to look for support test is going to be 13,124 spot 70. You have a gap down here as well. So if price pushes down and fills this gap, if you get a wick down to 13,124 spot 70, might be a good spot to look for bullish entries. And if you want to take it as a swing trade, you have a nice pivot low down here as a stop loss. All right. So that would be a pretty wide stop loss for someone like myself. But as a swing trade, you just got to make new all-time high, and you would be at a 2-to-1 entry. All right. 3 streams in one day. I'm so blessed. Yeah. Sorry. I wasn't going to do a stream after, because I was just on with Brandon. He's doing his stream. I was absolutely just going to do a video, but it's just easier to stream, man. And people can ask questions. You know what I mean? It's just easier. So we can bust the stream out in 30 minutes or an hour, get all the questions answered, do all the analysis. Basically, the only thing I was doing was letting everybody know about the 2 trades that I took, or the 3 trades that I took in FX, and basically the Bitcoin analysis, ADA. I mean, there's the levels on ADA are hard to gauge right now because this was a massive breakout. So basically, your first area to look for a support test is going to be 1707, which is just this swing high, and that's a daily time frame swing high. So that will hold weight if you even push down into there. It's so strong. I mean, you can see how it holds those 8-hour candles so beautifully. This is where shorts were licking their lips. Once you took out this swing low and you started trading lower, but if I just show you what you traded into right here, market structure on an 8-hour time frame, you didn't test it completely. You did test that one though. Right there. Right there. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. The analysis is unstoppable, guys. This is the way I trade. This is the reason why I trade this way. I mean, people can see it. People can see it. This stuff works. I mean, and it gives you an area to base your trade upon with a stop. So that way you know you're wrong. And that's what trading is about. That's why you use a stop loss, because if you're wrong on your direction, which you will be, so you need to get used to it, you get stopped out, and that's all good. You wait for a next area of support, or if you like a short at that point, wait for a retest higher. Look for shorter, or look for an area to short against with an obvious area to put a stop loss. Do not short up here. Do not do that. You're going to get destroyed because this thing is so strong. They came down there, tested that area, and then boom, boom. So I'm loving it. ADA is so strong. I wish I was in it. I am not in it. Like I said, I missed it. This was a beautiful test of support, 1404. There's nothing else any closer. You got this up here. All right, so you could put one there and watch that level first. All right, 1891. You didn't test it either. That's a bearish hourly candle. So for a shorter time frame, when this thing finds resistance and wants to trade lower, as of right now with the market structure that we have, I mean, obviously this is your first bearish hourly candle since you broke out, but for price to just test there and keep going would be, I mean, it can do it, absolutely. So watch that area first. I like this area down here better because it absolutely showed you many attempts to get above and couldn't until it did. So you have a breakout, wait for a retest. 1891. As long as you're closing hourly candles above that level, you're in good shape. You start closing hourly candles below it, you might be heading lower. Next area that I would look would be this bearish candle right here at 1730. All right. And that basically puts you right in there. If you get all the way back down in here, then you're trading within this range again, and you may be heading lower. Maybe looking for a deeper correction. I just don't see it. All right. Just don't see it. If you could take a look at MVIS, thought it looked overextended before the news on LiDAR prototype after hours up 50%. Absolutely. MVIS. MVIS, I got you. All right. I don't know if we got, looks like I analyzed this thing before. Let me just give me a quick second. Make sure I have extended hours on. They are. All right. All right. So, yeah. Well, I guess all I had to do was look at that. Man, where's my head? I wouldn't have seen that if the extended hours wasn't on, right? Yep. You got a nice, big, strong push. This was your obvious area of resistance, which was just the closing price of that bullish candle. You can see you tapped right up into that and you then sold off. You even took out the market structure level, but not on a closing basis. So this bearish candle right here was your market structure swing low to get an hourly closure below. You did not get that. And then whatever news came out, the market's loving it. All right. So tomorrow morning, it's going going to tell you what's going on with this trade. I don't like to trade pre and post market in the stocks because there's very little liquidity, and it looks like this thing doesn't have a whole lot of liquidity in it, even when it's trading normally. So, I mean, it's decent. It's decent. So yeah. All right. Your first area to look for obviously is going to be this candle here. That's your first candle. It's a 15-minute chart. Your first bearish candle. Look what happens when price comes into there. If you start closing 15-minute candles lower than that, you're heading lower. And I doubt there's any 5-minute candles. Oh, there's some. So there's your first two areas of support. All right. If you don't find support at 1937 or 1830, you're probably going to close the gap at 1566. Technically, this high would be the gap fill because this was today. Oh, no, it wouldn't be either. No. All right. So this gap is after hours. Your gap fill is going to be all the way down here at 1402. All right. So I would watch these two areas first if you're looking to trade this pre-market or post-market. If you're waiting for in the morning, which would be my suggestion, see what price does around 15.66. All right, I like that area. You got a nice right there. So see what happens there. That's where I'd be looking first. Thanks, Tom. They call me Heath. Hit us with the like. Man, this thing is hard to read. It just keeps like glitching out. Let me find my spot. Okay, there we go. There's the Doge chart. ADA BTC. Brandon got me frisky. Yeah, I think I just did that. We'll check it out. Oh yeah, it's definitely bullish. Yeah, these are your first areas. 1891. Next area is 1739. Look how that's 8 hour. Is the reason why. 4 hour. I can't even remember. I just did it. 1 hour. First area is 1891. Second area 1730. One of those areas I expect support to be found, as long as it's going to continue being bullish. Link dot. Got you. I got you. We'll do Link USD first, and then we'll go look at Link BTC. All right, so on the daily chart, dude, this thing's nice. It looks good. It looks like you have nice, consistent tests and higher moves. So you took out this, let's start over. You took out this market structure swing high. So that was good, right? Traded back down into it. Bears were trying, I mean, you did even get closures below it, but you're right back out of there and you're right back to testing it again today. So it's not having big explosive moves. I mean, on a smaller time frame, this daily candle is a pretty good sized daily. But you tested it and you're on getting ready to start today's candle, which is tonight and tomorrow. So it's going to be important to see what happened. This was today's. This could have been the retest. All right. You could have been testing that bearish candle right there. And it looks like you were. So I'll go ahead and throw that on there for you real quick. There you go. Get it off the high. Put it on the body. You got a nice, almost perfect test. So that's going to be the first area again. Right around that area. 25.077. Let's go look at Link BTC. So it's not as strong. The Link BTC chart is not as strong. So I was watching this level at 61 right here, 61599, which was this bearish candle. We broke below that. We have retested it once and twice on a daily time frame. The fact that we're trading right back up into it again, starting with this daily candle. So let's go down to a smaller time frame. All right, so it looks like this area is holding as resistance at 61599. This may be a shorting opportunity. I know you probably don't want to hear that, but that's what people are looking at it. You took out this swing low down here with multiple closures. So basically, you're just retesting this last swing low down here. If you cannot get above 61599 on an 8-hour closure basis, meaning in 6 hours and 50 minutes, if you're not closing above that level, then you have the New York session. That'll be the next session. After the London session opens, your New York session, if you're not up there by tomorrow morning, I possibly will be looking to short this, unfortunately, because that's just what the price is showing me. I could be absolutely wrong. When I wake up in the morning, we'll be trading all the way back up in here. If that happens, then look for a retest and then an area to get long, because the market is not structured bullishly. I mean, I guess you could say it kind of is. This was a massive pullback down here, and you're just having a bounce from that. So, yeah, it's a tough one, man. It's a tough one. It looks like right now, let me pull this out real quick. Just give me a second. Let me see if I can find you a trend line that is holding weight. I mean, if you just use that low right there, yeah, I don't know. That's a weekly chart, so you may be getting ready to start a bullish push, dude, on Link BTC. So this area is going to be epically important for Link BTC. Let's see here. Today is Wednesday. So yeah, tomorrow morning I want to see this thing trading above this area. This market structure right here. All right. We got to get an 8-hour closure above 63858. Just getting an 8-hour closure above 61599, this level right here, then I will be waiting for that. And then I will look for a lower or a higher low support to get long. So as of right now, looking at this chart, looks like the sellers are in control, but that trend line's down there, and you can see that the bulls did defend it. So this could be, let's put another smaller near-term trend line on this chart right here. All right. You're well above that, so you're in good shape. So I would hold off on taking a short on it unless you're like me and you're just trading intraday ranges, and your risk would be defined. If you're looking to short this above this high right here, this is not financial advice, then you would have a nice risk to reward for down here to this trend line, and as well as be targeting this wick low. So it looks to me like the near term trade, like possibly for tomorrow, is going to be down to the downside. Unless I wake up and we're trading above 63858, then I'm going to get long and look for this thing to take out this high up here. But that would be a swing trade. It would be something that I would just enter and look to hold and not trade it. All right. That was Link BTC. Let's go look at DOT. I think I already did, maybe not. So here we go with DOT USD. It's an 8-hour time frame. So I like this level right here, which is why it's so thick. You can see that it tested it. We're moving way higher. So we need to get some new levels up here to look for the near term. This is your last swing high right here. You can clearly see if I put my mouse over the wick, there's nothing but wicks above that area. So no closures. That means that area was important. Plus you traded away from it, made a new swing low on a closing basis, and out of there. Classic bear trap. So look for bullish entries on this around 20 spot 986 if you get back down there. The problem is it's trading in this like shorter term range. So you would just basically do something like this. This is your low end of the range. This is the high end of the range. All right. For the hour, for the near term. So going into tomorrow morning, be looking, where is this thing trading at that point? If you're trading down here and you're holding obvious support, like here, let me give you it like this. You know what I mean? You got wick low, but you're not closing anything below it. Look to get long. If you are closing below it, then it's heading lower. Same thing for the upside. But as long as it's not closing anything, this is your first area right here for your very near term, like for the London Open. All right. 23,166. London Open is going to be testing this area, possibly 23,166. So if the London Open happens, the London Open for me is 3 a.m. in the morning. I don't know where it is where you live. If you're getting pushes down and closures above for the London Open, Boom, that's your target up there. 24,703. 24.703. That would be a nice daily range expansion as well. And obviously your stop loss would be below that wick. That's if you're not able to close below that. If you're closing below that, you're heading lower. Excuse me. So let's go look at .BTC. Let's get on a bigger time frame chart. Remove all drawings. All right. Yeah, you're trading in a range on a daily chart. Here's your market structure swing high. Here is your current near-term swing low. That's only near-term because you're in it. You tested it today and you traded away. You're coming into this bullish candle, which is an area that shorters are going to be looking to get short against. All right? Because the last time we traded in it, we rejected hard. People are going to be getting short right here. All right? So what you want to do, since you're in the middle of this overall range, now this is a near-term weekly expansion range. This is like a weekly range. If I go into a weekly chart, you'll see what I'm talking about. So you got your weekly range here. All right. So as a daily, if you're looking for a daily range expansion, I would rather look to enter long down here. That's if you're not closing any bigger time frame candles down there. Like 4-hour candle closure below that, probably heading lower. Range bound trading is hard to deal with because of that. I'm not messing around with that. I want it down here or even possibly lower to look for long entries. This thing is absolutely bullish. You're trading in a range up here. So it's when you start breaking those levels. Those levels are daily. Use the daily range level. All right. If you get a daily closure below that, wait to see what happens the previous day or the next day. That will tell you your near-term direction. So basically, if you close a daily candle below that level and then you trade right back up into that level, then that would have been a bear trap. So just give us some time. That's the hardest thing for newest traders to do, is look at charts and give it time. But you have to learn how to do that. Once you become consistent in the way you take trades and the way you analyze charts, once you become consistent at that and have a lot of patience, your trading is going to turn around. I've taken 3 trades this week in the FX market, which is usually one more than I usually take in a week, because I'm only looking for a daily range expansion. You nail 2 of those a week, you're going to be hitting stuff like 15% a week. All right. So more or less, I'm not even going to look to trade the FX market this week unless an absolute beautiful setup just slaps me right in the face. If I get something like that, since I'm up 15%, I can afford to lose 1%. You see what I mean? But the money's in the bank. So this is trading in a range. I do want to get in this long because DOT is strong. DOT is beautiful. You know what I mean? I do want to get in this. This will be an opportunity for me to get in down here, 530, or what is this? All right, 48261. 48261 is this level. All right. But it's testing that. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. If we get a daily closure above these market structure swing highs right here, look for a retest of that level to get long. Don't buy it once you break this market structure. Wait for a retest into something to get long against. That way you have a stop loss area. You know what I mean? Something to put a stop loss against. So a little nice push up into this area and come back down somewhere. Get long, look for the breakout, because there's a lot of liquidity up here. Not so much down here because this wick took it all out. So that is your near-term downside target if you're short. And if the sellers are in control, that's what they're aiming at. 40600, 40600. Thanks, my man. Ouch, gaps. Yeah, I don't like gaps. I mean, I can trade them because I do trade in the stock market all the time, so gaps don't bother me, but it's a lot easier for me to show you what I'm looking at with solid candlesticks. One more question, if you don't mind. if I have $100,000 in margin account, what is a recommended trade size? Do you always use? Yes, I always trade the same units. All right, use your $100,000 margin account. What are you willing to risk? What are you willing to lose in each trade? All right. So I trade with 1%. That doesn't matter if I'm trading with options in the stock market. All right. Because I have different accounts. I have 2 different Forex accounts. I now have 2 different crypto accounts, and I have 2 different stock market accounts. So if I'm looking to trade those, I use 1% no matter which platform I'm on, or no matter which trade I'm taking. It's always 1% of my total account's equity. All right. So if you have $100,000 in margin, then I would need to know what your margin is. Are you talking about FX? Is it a 50-to-1 margin? Now, if you're just saying 100K is your account and it's a margin account, I wouldn't risk no more than 1%. And if you're learning, you can notch that down to like 0.5%. I mean, $500, if you lose $500 on a trade, it's still going to hurt at first. But as long as you're taking trades that are high probable setups, then you're going to be fine. Give yourself time to learn. If you're just learning, I suggest you trade on demo. Strongly suggest you trade on demo. All right. But if you know what a high probable setup looks like, don't risk no more than 1% per trade. Jordan says don't risk no more than 0.5%. So you can do that even. It'd be safest. All right. Link and LTC, pretty please. All right. I just did them both, so I'm not sure if you were here. Give me a second. Here, let me just do this. Because I got the lines on there, and I'll just tell you real quick. Link, USD. What happened to the lines? And I guess I did not look at this, or I just didn't leave any lines on there. Your first area of support is going to be 25.596 right here from this bearish candle. All right. Your near-term structure is this swing low right here. So if you get an 8-hour closure below that, you're probably coming down here to test this area. 8-hour closure below that, your next area is this candle here. All right. And that's an 8-hour time frame. I don't know what your time frame is. If you're looking to swing trade this, like you want in the hodl, let it come down into this area, 24.54 right here. See what happens down here. Now, you don't want to just blindly buy these areas. You want to make sure it is holding a support. The way you can do that is look at a 2-hour chart, 1-hour chart. Make sure you're getting wicks below. Did I lose it? I think I lost connection. All right, so I don't know if I lost connection or not. Looks like everything's good, so I didn't lose it. All right, cool. This thing popped up and said I lost connection, so I don't know what the hell it's talking about. Sorry about that interruption. But yeah, look for that area, 24.54. And then what was the other one? Litecoin. Litecoin is, I'm not sure if you're wanting, let's see here. Yeah, Litecoin USD is looking good. You took out this swing high up here. Let me get rid of this trend line. Let me get rid of all these lines because obviously I looked at this a long time ago. So you took out this area right here. All right. You got a closure above that, but immediately you rejected. That's not beautiful. That's not what I want to see when I take out market structure swing highs. I want to find support at those areas. We blasted through it. So this is your first area right here, 170.69. If bulls can maintain control there, then this bearish candle means nothing. All right. So far, you're testing it, you're pushing away, which is good. It's very, very good. So that's going to be your line in the sand for now. If you break below 170.69 on an 8-hour closing basis, you're going to be looking to test this level down here. First, you would test this because crypto coins trade very technically. So basically, any swing high is going to be a good area to look for resistance, but use the candle bodies and not the wicks. All right, you can see the wicks do hold sometimes if I put it on there, but if you use the candle body, then you have an exact area. You know what I mean? You know what you're looking for by using the candle body. That level's 162.22. If you get an 8-hour closure below that level, then you know you have breached that. All right. If you use the wicks, then you can't tell if you've breached anything. If you just get a wick through it, you want to see a closure below. But the way you get closure below, you got to see a closure below another closer open. The wicks are just where it went. Always use your bodies, in my opinion. The bodies are the best. Possible false break. Let me scroll up because I lost a lot of stuff. Lost the music even. Yeah, I don't hear the music. So we'll just get rid of that. All right. Would be hard to resist a GU pullback. Let me scroll up just to make sure I'm not missing anybody. Just got here, missed announcement. Did you do Algo and GRT already? No, I have not. I can do them for you. Algo Rand has been killing it. Yeah, it's moving higher again already. I mean, you basically got one session test lower, and then you essentially it's like a false break out of that area. So right now you're testing to make a higher market close, a higher 8-hour candle close. This is your area right here. So if this candle pushes up and closes back below this area, then it's probably going lower. All right, but you did open above that level because you closed above that level already. So look and see what happens at 1.0303 right here. It's okay if you break below that level. You don't want to be losing 98.57 right here. You do not want to lose that. All right. So I don't like it when it does this stuff because it makes it a little bit tough. Let me go into a 1-hour chart, see what I got going on here. So here's your first. All right. So I like that. Let's look at this right there. So you should find support there. If you pull back into this area, that would be the area to look for a support test and hold. You lose that, you're probably going to take out these wick lows. All right. That's going to be the target if the trade starts to move lower. Algo, and what was the other one? GRT. GRT, USD, man, everything is just moving to the moon. Cryptos are on fire, and it's insane. Insane. Bitcoin going up. These things are going up. So you took that out very clearly. So let's get rid of that. Let's move this up here because these are going to be your first areas. I wouldn't necessarily hate it if it came lower than that even, because that's your breakout candle and you're already finding buyers already. So this thing is like it's almost parabolic. You don't want to be buying up here. Look for a test of 1.10 right here. That's where you want to look for a support test. You get anything lower than that, you can come all the way down to here. All right. Anything down here is still golden. The way I like to do these things is I don't like to start looking for sell trades or exiting positions if you're already long till you break like the near term trend line. And this is your near term price action. Just throw a trend line underneath the wick lows. That way it's not subjective when it breaks it. Excuse me. Let me get a drink real quick. The reason trend lines and resistance support levels can be very subjective is because of the way traders make them. If you put a trend line on a candle wick low, and then you put your second touch on another candle wick low. It only takes 2 touches to make a trend line, all right? Because you're looking for the third touch as the area to look to get long. Now, that's not subjective if you close an 8-hour candle below that, right? Absolutely it's not, because you closed an 8-hour candle below it. So your subjectiveness has just been thrown right out the window. Now, if you put it on the candle bodies, like you can, I mean, I'm not saying that it's wrong to do it like that. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm never going to tell you that's wrong. However, if you get a wick below it, has that been broken? No. So that's the way I do it. I just do it like that so I can throw all the subjectiveness out of the window. Like I said, if I get an 8-hour market closure below that, then I know this trend line is no longer relevant. Now, this thing is so bullish, you can't buy it up here because you're at like exhaustion risk. When the market is trading on all-time highs, I don't know if this is the all-time high because it's Coinbase's data feed, but if it is the all-time high, you are trading at exhaustion risk, which means you can buy this bearish pullback that it's having right now on an 8-hour time frame, and you take the risk of the very next candle being a boom, big one. You see what I'm saying? Which is why you don't want to buy exhaustion risk. You want to buy pullbacks. Not only by buying pullbacks are you giving the market a chance to settle down and giving yourself a higher risk to reward entry, you're making your risk to reward better, meaning you can get it just to get back up to the highs. If you can find an area to put a stop loss against and getting back to the highs makes it a 2-to-1 trade, that's a lot better than trying to take a 2-to-1 trade here and using what as a stop. I mean, you would have to get all the way up here just to get a 2-to-1. So if you start looking at the market in areas to where you can actually put that risk to reward on your side, like if you get a pullback down here, you can use these wicks as your area to put a stop against. And then your risk to reward becomes, well, if you get back to the highs, you made 3% or whatever your risk unit is. All right. I mean, see what I got going on. ADA BTC 755. I think I've already been over that. Ouch gaps. Yeah, I've already been over this. This thing is so difficult to understand. This chat. The way this thing's got it set up. All right, let me go look at GU because I've seen GU a couple times. Great British Pound, US dollar. All right. So let's get rid of everything. So we were trading in this range last week, which is why I was so bullish on the pound this week, because the bears had every chance in the world to take this thing lower, and then it traded right back up into it. So this was a target. That thing executed flawlessly. So if you go into a weekly time frame, you can see as of right now, you're trading above this market structure on the weekly candle closes and opens. You are pushed up into that. So as long as bulls are going to remain in control, your next area of resistance is going to be looking at all the way up here at one spot 40129. All right, that's if you get a pullback and a retest and a clear obvious hold of support. Now, I don't necessarily want to do it on a daily, but your last 8-hour structure is there too. All right, so you could go into a smaller time frame chart and find an area right here on this candle. I know it. And there it is. So you got your bull flag, and then you broke out of that bull flag. This 1-hour candle has not been retested. All right. You can see that last bearish candle was not well, it was retested right here, but nothing else has tested it since it passed away out of that area. So currently it's going to try to find support here first and then lower. But if you lose those two areas, look at 137 spot or 1 spot 37962. 1 spot 37962. This line right here, just take from that hourly candle. This is absolutely bullish. There's no reason to be trying to short the pound right now. No reason at all. All right. And you just got a fresh breakout. So it's bullish. It's bullish AF. which is also why I got long pound yen. Excuse me. No man's land, absolutely great advice. Thank you, Winthorpe. Would be hard to resist the G pullback. Blah blah blah. Got all that. What do you think about OM? What do you think about Omi's Go? How much since 2017? One coin that hasn't pumped yet. 10K micro real money account. I don't know anything about that. Unfortunately, the Omi's Go. I have no idea what that is. Yeah, the music left because something happened. I thought I lost the whole stream, to be honest with you. Something popped up on this platform, was like, you lost connection. So my girl came in and told me that I still had it. That's the only reason I'm not freaking out. And I can't get the music back up. So thank you so much for that. That means a lot. I appreciate that. I want to see everybody succeed, man. That's my goal. My mission is to see everybody succeed. Not make them succeed, but to see them succeed would be great. Drew Michaels, USD, JPY's multiple 8-hour closures below a bearish candle at 140.660. Looks to me like the USD is going to be weaker than the yen. Do you agree? If so, NZD looks good, about the same as NG. Yeah. Yeah, let's get over here real quick to Forex. This is what I'm looking at, not this one. This is what I'm looking at right here on the dollar. All right. So essentially, we had made that. Let me get rid of this one so I'm not confusing anybody. So the dollar was bearish. The dollar still is, in my opinion, extremely bearish. And I'm only looking for bearish trades on the dollar, especially now. So we formed this channel, right? And we traded up. We were making highs and everything. So essentially, if dollar bulls were going to get back involved, they would have got involved around $90, around this area here, at least the bottom of the channel. And this is an 8-hour time frame. So you got multiple closes below that. So basically what you're going to be looking for now on the dollar is any pops in price are going to be looked to be sold into, right? So like basically go into an hourly time frame, and I would use this one as my first level to watch right there at 90.593. Right there. That bullish candle right here. If price pushes back up into there, you will have stopped out everybody here. And then bears will look to re-engage this market, pushing it lower. But this was a pretty strong push down out of the area already on an hourly time frame. Basically, you wiped out this whole leg, this whole second leg up. You wiped it all out. So it looks to me like the dollar's bearish. I agree, but I'm not going to sell it right here. Look for 90.593 to hold as resistance first. You know what I mean? Even if you miss trades, like this is the thing too with new traders. You're going to look at that and see a clear area of resistance, right? Because those candle bodies. And I'm not going to disagree with you. Absolutely. And it does look like it's pushing lower. However, there's a lot of liquidity right here from this high and this high. So is the market really going to trade down here, trade sideways, and then just leave this area with all this unfilled orders just sitting right there? I don't think so. I think it's probably going to want to move higher, take those orders out, and then see what happens. Just remember, markets are traded on a minute by minute basis, day by day. Each day when everybody goes into their trading firms and wherever they're trading at nowadays, they're looking at new orders coming into the market. What is the new data saying? So that's why I like to only basically take my Forex trades around the New York Open, because that's when the most of the volume's already been thrown down from the London Open, and then any other volumes is going to be thrown down during the New York session. Anything after the New York session, like I'm not looking to take any trades after 10 p.m. I mean 10 a.m. Sorry, 10 a.m. After 10 a.m., I am done. If I don't find a setup by then, I wait till the next day. It's as simple as that. So let's see what happens. Let price come back up to this area. This is where the risk to reward gets better, because you're essentially just looking for the low to be taken out at this point, right? So this is a good spot to hold a risk to reward, but I'm just trying to get you to see the markets the way that I see them. Let these people get stopped out. Let this area right here hold as resistance. You get a solid test, wick above that, and a close below, wick above, close below, wick up, look lower. I am long Euro USD already, but I'm positioned from like here. All right. So this is in the Euro USD is pretty inverse to the dollar. I got in on this push up right here. This push up, I got in, but not on this pair. I got in on the Euro. All right. This blue line right here, let me get rid of the trend line. The blue line indicates my entry. So I got in on this push down, and I'm just sailing, just letting it do what it wants to do. I got areas marked out here, but I'm not going to exit the trade because my risk is already gone off the table. My stop's above break even, and I did take 2/3 of the profit off already as well. So all of this profit, anything up here is just cherries on the cake. And I'm long pound yen too, right here. But it looks like we're getting some yen weakness coming in tonight, which is not what I'm looking for, to be honest with you. I'm really expecting this thing to roll over today. This is the yen index, and this is where I'm looking for it to roll over at. So I guess you could say that right here, if we push up to 95.80 and reject from there, I'm still liking it. All right. That's the last area in the sand. If the yen is gapping way up here in the morning, because this only trades during normal market hours, if it's gapping up here, we will know that already because all the yen pairs will have a massive move tonight. But I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Let me go find something. Where would I no longer like it? Well, if we get all the way down to here on like the pound yen, 144.339, something else is going on, and I'm probably going to get stopped out. All right. Thank you, Janet. All right, guys, that's all for tonight. I'm going to call it a night. I've been on a lot longer than I expected to be on. I really appreciate you guys showing up. If you have any questions that I didn't answer, just drop them in the comment section below of this video when it is posted to YouTube, and I will do my best to answer it tomorrow when I wake up. I got to go get some late night dinner and call it a night. So you guys have a happy night. Make sure you trade safe, trade smart. Happy trading.